I like grab it, and where I grab it was like not a safe spot, and it like started automatically lowering, but the motors were still on, and it just like sliced my finger right to the bone, and I'm like bleeding all over my hand.
No way.
I like bring my hand in, like bring a fist, and then I like see my bone. I'm like, oh God. And this is like right when we're starting to shoot one of the segments. And I'm like, well, that's an issue. Frankly, I've never done a podcast before.
First time?
Yeah, first time.
You're serious?
Yeah.
Have you been asked?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I'm flattered, dude. This is amazing.
So
what made you, I mean, I'm curious, had you seen some of our videos, or you probably saw the production value and you're like, okay.
Honestly, I just kind of want to like challenge myself, you know? Like sometimes I like talking, other times I really don't.
Yeah.
And I think just being a part of like this thing would help challenge me and get to know more people around Utah.
Yeah.
I've been here like 5-6 years, but like,
cool.
The more people you know, the better. So,
well, that's been the biggest thing that I didn't quite understand when I started this, was the networking side of it.
Oh, it's massive.
Dude, it's insane. We're 40 plus episodes in, and like now I have I probably like 10 or 15 of them are like friends and people I know. And then all these other ones have been like yourself, I just don't know. And then
for sure.
We just chat. And I'm not a big talker either. Like I don't love group settings. I'm not like a super good networker, but I love one-on-one. And so that's what's been fun about this, is just like going deep into other people's stories and just kind of asking questions and see what kind of like knowledge I can pour from it, but then our viewers, and then just like, it's fun because we go through your journey and like figure out how you got where you got.
Sweet.
Talk about opportunities and what you did. Anyway, it's fun. So I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
And
Thanks for having me.
We've actually started. So let's officially kick it off. Nathan, welcome to a filmmaker's journey. I'm excited to pick apart your journey, because looking at your Instagram, dude, your content's insane. And a lot of that comes from your aerial stuff. But let's start with just your name and give us an introduction of what you do.
Yeah, my name is Nathan McBride. I'm an aerial cinematographer and DP here in Salt Lake, but travel all around the world. I love shooting with the drone, but I love shooting people and interacting with nature and cool, unique experiences. And I feel like filmmaking is like a passport to get anywhere. Yeah. So that's actually the best point. I learned that when I was a super trainer. I was like, these guys are letting us do the most insane things just because I have a camera and know how to use it. Exactly.
And I think a lot of filmmakers realize that as they get down that road. It's a cool ticket into experiences.
Yeah, and you get to meet the best individuals of each experience, and I think that's like really unique.
And then meeting people from all walks of life, like as you travel the world, and they just like you because you have experience in something really cool that they like. They like brings the barriers down right out of the gate, which is nice. So you're in your bio, you have creative director and aerial cinematographer. So talk to me a little about the creative director side.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is a beauty of just like showing up on set, doing your job and doing it well. Yeah. I love like being able to really impress a director, getting a unique shot that maybe a lot of people haven't seen, or just pushing myself really hard to get unique angles. I kind of always envisioned like aerial cinematography as being able to put like a physical camera anywhere, usually anywhere in 3D space. So it's like whether I can be right next to a volcano as it's like shooting 1,000 feet of fire into the sky, or right off a bush like 3 or 4 inches moving 50 miles an hour to make everything look fast. Like the drone didn't always have to be hundreds of feet in the sky, but it can be anywhere. But on the creative director side of things, I think that's where it kind of opened up my ability to have my vision come to life. And I think I'm as passionate about that as the aerial cinematography for others. Obviously, I love collaboration, love getting on other people's sets and figuring out like how they do things. So I think each is fun in its own way, but when I get to like direct a project for DJI, they're like one of my main clients.
So when you direct this, you're shooting the aerial and you're actually shooting on ground stuff.
Yeah, so I have an aerial cinematographer that I work with as well. Like
cool.
All my friends, all my close friends are aerial cinematographers as well.
Cool.
And so we'll sometimes bring on, one of my buddies, Ian Reinfurt. He's extremely talented aerial cinematographer. He'll come on a lot of these shoots and like tag team it with me. But we're repping maybe a 6-7 person crew going out hiking to like this distant waterfall that no one had shot commercially in the past. And we're like, what if we have some person like rappel off the cliff into the ocean? And that's the scene, like these two canyoneers with the drone. So like
with that, you're basically, they're just saying, here's a budget and you're coming up with a story and shots. Like you've got pretty free reign.
Well, so, and I think that's kind of where the creative director aspect is so fun, because I get to just like, kind of like make some of these dreams, some of these like Pinterest board-esque ideas come to life. And DJI allows for that, and I've kind of forced that to happen. Sometimes they try to dumb me down with like what my creative vision is. Other times they're just like, go for it. Like pitch us ideas. They obviously have a guideline or a unique like set of features that they're trying to display. And then I'm going to be like, okay, it's long transmission on the DJI drone, and that's what we need to showcase. So let's form a scene that the drone has to go super far to accomplish a certain shot, but we're going to make it really cool. So all of these scenes are kind of based off of different features or different demographics that we're trying to like accomplish.
That's amazing. I was going to ask, what's like one of your favorite, it's probably one of these pinned ones. In fact, I actually just noticed, I didn't realize this, but that one you pinned in the middle is the Porsche commercial. We had Damien on this podcast, dude, and this is one of his favorite videos as well. It's so cool.
It was a dream come true. Camp 4 crushed it. Damien is like a legend among legends. Like he's great. And such a pleasure to be around. I'm glad you guys had him on, because he's very intuitive and like thoughtful and has really good ideas in his mind.
He loves people. And he's just such a fun person. And that's the only reason I know the guy is because we hired him and he was on a crew with Sandy B, if you know who that is, the art director. And he was just like a helper, man. And he was the guy that was just doing anything you asked him. And I was directing, and that Damien was there, and he was always there, and he was so helpful. And then we just became friends at that point and followed each other. And when I did this, I was like, I gotta get Damien. And he's been one of the more entertaining podcasts at this point.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he's awesome. And this one was funny because it's like Tim, the director at Camp 4, or director and owner, he like came up to me and he was like, hey, have this idea. Like we want to have the Porsche like kind of in the mountains going up a snowy road. I'm like, oh yeah, that's totally like should be really cool. We'll start location scouting for it. And we were location scouting a couple different resorts, and this one just allowed us to actually like drive the Porsche on the slope itself, which was crazy unique. And then when they were like, yeah, you can fly drone wherever, whenever, it was like,
yes,
this is a dream come true.
That's so cool. I know Damien talked about driving down a hill and how challenging that was.
Oh my gosh.
Do you do a lot of car stuff?
Automotive is fun. Obviously one of those things that definitely is fun to do. One of the other specs that we did for Rivian, we had like a flare strapped to a drone, and it went like ballistic viral. Cool. And we like flew it down a canyon and followed this Rivian. And so that was another creative project. But automotive just allows you to like really expand your mind and be like, okay, what's a really cool idea that we can kind of attach to a car driving? Because everyone's seen that.
And go super fast. Have you worked with Cameron Gold?
I know him.
Okay. Because he does all automotive. He was our last one.
Yeah.
So I was curious if you'd worked with him. I have so many other questions, man, and so many things that I want to ask you about, but I think we'll get to those things as we talk through what you've gone through to get to this point and how you got to, first of all, an aerial cinematographer, which one of the questions I want to get to is the change of drones, right? And then when aerial just, what is it called? The ones that go really FPV drones. When it changed to that and that became like a thing, and it seemed like a lot of people really jumped on that, and like
it's an interesting time.
It's the first time anyone's seen any of these types of shots.
Yeah.
It's not, they just weren't possible. But coming from where I came from, it was like these massive copters, right? The 8x ones that are all kind of manually built, to DJI and those janky drones, all the way to the Inspire. And then that's about when I stopped flying drones. And then the FPV came out. In fact, Cinechopper, Chris Newman, he had a FPV and he brought it into our office, and it was the first time, it's the only time I've actually flown one. And then all of a sudden it just took off and all these people are doing it like yourself. So I'm excited to jump into that and talk about that progress. But let's take it all the way back to the beginning for you, man. When did you decide to be a filmmaker? If that was the decision early, or if it was like you had something else spark you just to be a creative?
Well, in the golden age of YouTube, when there was nothing good on YouTube, all of my brothers, like we used to live overseas in Jordan.
Oh, cool.
And so one of the fun things that we would do as we just like kind of roamed around the neighborhood was make YouTube videos. Nice. So we were definitely on like let's be YouTubers to start. But, you know, once I was in high school, I think we all filmmakers back in that day, like started the same way of like shooting weddings and, you know, doing little films, like conceptual films, and then shooting like football and events. So I used to shoot, well, I'm from Texas, right? Cool. So we used to shoot the football games over there. And that was like the biggest thing that happened in that town. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you pulled that up. So it's funny because this is like one of the first videos that I had ever made ever. Like
really?
Besides
like a YouTube video?
Beside like the trashy YouTube videos that we used to make. But the reality is my AV teacher was like, hey, you have 24 hours. We need a hype video before the game. And it was like, we have like a little mini stadium in Texas because
that's
the whole town shows up, right?
Football is life.
And so we ended up like making this video within 24 hours, me and John Lee and Keaton Loudamy, like one of two best friends at the time. And we were like the trio that, you know, started the football hype video magic, like at our high school. And then once everyone saw it and like everyone was so hyped, and they were like, well, can you make a video for this department? Can you make a video for this department? And then like people were like, you're going places, like to us three. Yeah. And we were just like, this is really exciting. Like, let's make there was like a competition for a short film that was like a little bit more serious. Yeah. I think it was like a drunk driving, like PSA film. And we ended up kind of building out this one video that actually ends like in a super dark, like suicide like scene that I ended up shooting with my friend in this river behind my house. And like we played it for this where this guy like drowns. It's called Drowning Sorrows. And it was a cool moment to like show this to our school, and most people like shrug off these videos as like, oh, I'm not gonna watch another PSA. Yeah. And this one was like actually like grabbed your heart a little bit. Wow. And so we ended up doing a competition, 1 second in the nation, for this like national campaign. Yeah. And it was the trio. I think this is like my old reel. So this is part of Drowning Sorrows, but also a bunch of other projects.
So did you, when you say that it like captivated people, what was the reaction like? When did you show it like an assembly or something?
Yeah. We showed it like to all of the school, And yeah, it was definitely a visceral reaction. And the reality is back then, viral videos like Devin was coming out, you know, like, so there was definite virality online, but this one I think was my first viral video where it was like a passion project film. Like,
you put this on YouTube?
So I put it on YouTube and I think it got like 300,000 views or something like that. Not on my page, but like on a different one. And so it kind of went national. And then I ended up getting a call from some Swedish company that had this platform that connected artists and like people that wanted to book artists for different events.
Cool.
And they were like, how much would you charge for a video? And I was like, I'm like thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, like $350. Okay, maybe 500. And they were like, I was like, oh, I'll just ask them, I guess.
Yeah, dude.
It's like, hey, how much, what's your budget?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, like we were thinking like 10 grand or so. And I'm like 16 years old. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I told my dad, I'm like, this actually might be a career. Like,
yeah, that's cool, man. That's amazing that like you had something hit so early. And the reason I asked about the whole assembly thing was like, did the reaction play much part in like you being like, this is the direction I want to head?
100%.
Like, from the people versus like, that was amazing to make. But I just remember that same feeling when I showed people, and if they cried, I'm like, whoa, I love this.
I mean, that's the moment, or that's the thing that I'm chasing throughout all my work.
Yeah.
Even 10 years or 12 years later, you know, I'm like 27, started when I was 15 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm still chasing that same feeling. But yeah, it was a really cool reaction to have, and it definitely motivated me to keep going in that realm, because we didn't know if it was going to be a legitimate career or not. Yeah,
that's exactly when I got started, was 15. And so I'm 36, man. I've been doing this for a long time, 20 years. But I wanted to ask quickly about Jordan. You lived in Jordan overseas. What were you doing out there? Your family?
Yeah, my family did humanitarian work in Palestine and Jordan.
Yeah.
So first in Palestine, then the war happened, and then we moved over.
Did you were shooting videos while you were in Jordan with your brothers? Like YouTube videos?
Yeah, the YouTube video stuff.
But that's unique, man. That's a crazy experience. You were probably pretty young.
I was, we left when I was 14 years old. So
wow, that's cool to have that kind of experience of living overseas. So then after this film, you got this budget. I always like to ask people, what was the direction for you? Did you enjoy being a camera operator? Did you enjoy editing? Were you like, I'm going to be a film director? Were you like, I want to be still go YouTube? Like, what was the thought process when you started seeing like the budgets come in?
Yeah. So when it came to like the band of brothers, the three guys that got started, one of them is now like a super talented AC gaffer, like has massive like gaffing company in Austin. And then one, John Lee, is like super talented at social media and does a bunch of stuff there, owns a company in Dallas. But I kind of always liked the camera operation and directing side of things. But yeah, I didn't want to like just give up camera operation to someone else. So I liked that aspect. Funny thing is I had this one individual that really helped me along my way. He hired me for all the wedding films, got me on my first jobs. He worked for my local church in Waco, Texas. And I ended up hiring him to help me like co-direct this, commercial that we ended up getting, the 10 grand one. Yeah. And so that kind of like opened my eyes to be like, okay, like I can do this, I can direct. And I kind of moved forward with that.
When you were directing, was it scary for you? You're so young. Like you were 16?
Yeah, terrifying.
Dude, who are you? What kind of a commercial campaign was it? Were you directing people or just creative directing?
No, like full people,
cool.
full sets, but like it wasn't wasn't like the most impressive commercial ever, right?
Yeah.
Like looking back on it, it's like, it was okay, right?
That's crazy though that you got launched with that kind of a budget early.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of opened my eyes because it definitely didn't like just go up from there. Like it definitely went down and I was like, okay, what am I doing wrong? Like do these budgets ever exist anymore? Like it was definitely disheartening, like because I ended up moving to work for a production company just like as a PA intern over the summer. And I was like, I'm not going to college. This is my career. I'm going to get into production. And halfway through the summer, I just was like in an unfurnished bedroom near a college that the production company put me up at, thankfully, for free.
Cool.
And I had like very little money to my name. And I was just like, I don't know if I want to do this. I think I want to go back to college and like be a normal person for a little bit, just because I was so passionate like in high school about film.
Yeah.
And like I went from not wanting to wake up in the morning to go to school to like running to my AV class and spending all the time I could in my AV class. So I just was like, okay, I love film, but I think I want to like be a normal person and go to college. And it took me a year and a half at college to be like, okay, I need to get back out.
Yeah. So you like, it like lit a fire in you early.
Yeah.
And then you had that like, whoa, this is crazy. And then that's one thing that I realized as I grew up. It was like, oh, money doesn't last. It actually, you think you make a budget or some money and it's just always going to be that way. But life just is a freaking roller coaster.
Right.
And so when you went back to school, was it Baylor?
It wasn't.
Just
it was GCU. It was Grand Canyon University in Arizona.
Okay, cool. So while you're there, as you're thinking through this whole like transition and not, being a filmmaker, during that time, were you watching things? Were you being inspired by other people? Like what got you back on track?
I mean, there was obviously a couple filmmakers, influencers, whatever you want to call them, that kind of propelled that. I went and did like a 15 country documentary overseas about the Syrian refugee crisis.
Wow.
When I was like, I think 18, like first year of college. So I still was very much involved in film.
Yeah.
Was working on a film degree. I was just like, these people are working too slow.
Yeah.
So it's like the whole world is changing like right now.
Yeah.
Because it was like the age of DSLRs, being able to shoot stuff, and the program was just so like muddy and traditional, and like everyone's super slow, and we weren't touching cameras like for the first semester. And I was like, what are we doing, guys?
Yeah.
Like we need to be out there and shooting stuff. So I always was shooting like throughout college. I just wanted a break and to know what that break would look like.
Yeah.
So, but definitely inspired by like Devin Graham. Like he was awesome back in the day. So it was kind of funny that you had that connection with him as well.
Yeah.
Because all of those videos were just like, conceptual filmmaking, where you guys were going out and having fun and attaching brands to it. It was like everyone's dream. So, and then obviously you want to like throw in Sam Colder's name in like the travel aspect, but like I didn't like glorifying people. I was just like, everyone's human, everyone's on their own journey. And but it was cool once like, my career started, picking up, that like I got to like meet a bunch of individuals I did look up to, and everyone's human, everyone's very much on their own creative journey, and that's kind of cool that you get to dive into all those different stories. It's
been fun, and it's so interesting to actually pull back the curtain and hear like these kind of like lows that you had, and then we're gonna get to the successes. And when you're in that, like you said, you couldn't wake up in the morning. I think a lot of people can take something from maybe the mindset you had that changed that, or just kind of run us through a little bit of this like period of your life that was like, I don't want to be a filmmaker. It's hard to wake up. And now obviously the hard to wake up was you're saying that because film like got you up and it was
Right.
exciting.
100%.
So it was kind of probably this like, where am I going? What's this direction? Because I remember that same feeling when I was in college. It was very, it's just not hands-on, man. It's like, you got to get out and create. And I think that's why a lot of the whole like college is shifting and not a lot of people are going there.
Right. Especially in film.
Especially in film. I ended up getting my degree in it. And I mean, not once have I used it, but I finished. And that was important to me to do. But yeah, talk to me a little bit about this, like this time in your life that like you're going through this kind of weird part, I guess.
Yeah. I would say the biggest lull in the career where I was like either questioning film in general or questioning what I was doing. Because obviously starting so young, you get a lot of people being like, you're only 17 years old, you're only 16 years old and you're doing this. So like that propelled me. But, you know, as I was in college, I was like, I don't want to be a part of this program. So I dropped out and then I would like live on $2,000 and like try to figure out how I was going to pay for my apartment. And there was one period of life where I was doing all of these jobs and traveling a bunch. And I ended up sleeping in the back of my Subaru for like 15, 16 days. And a lot of people like sleep in their cars for way longer.
Yeah.
But there was a moment where I was like, you know, embarrassed to ask, you know, my buddy to sleep on his couch, like, because I was in this weird stage of like, I just dropped out. I don't have a ton of gigs. I have some, I'm passionate about this, but like, there's gotta be a better way to make a living doing this.
Yeah.
Because every single time you would reach out to a client, they would be like, oh, cool. Like, here, we'll give you some product. And now it's even worse. But like, or hey, like you can travel around the country for like $200.
Yeah.
And it's like, I was young, so I didn't know really. But kind of just having that lull where like, I don't even know what I'm doing and where I should be going forward. And it was funny because I was like, fine, I'll just rent an apartment with my buddy for a couple months. And that's when COVID hit. And everything went to hell. And I was like, okay, what am I going to do? And I had this connection with DJI that I had made because I was like, hey, GoPros are crappy. Like, I want to try out your new Osmo. And it was like just had came out. So they sent it with me to Bali that previous summer. And I had like gotten this like very vague connection where like, oh, you're good at drone work. Like, we'll potentially hire you for another campaign. I was like, yeah, keep me in mind. Mm-hmm. And they had sent me an email right as the pandemic was happening. Okay. And so I was like, my one opportunity to impress DJI like is now like fading away. It's like, it's going. And I was like, nothing is gonna stop me from getting this project done. Cool. And so I ended up packing my bags, getting in my Subaru and driving up to Utah for the first time. Nice. So did a road trip up through northern Arizona to Utah and created the first campaign for DJI, the Air 2 campaign. Cool. And it was during a time where all productions were shut down because this was like serious at the time. Like no one knew that how. This was probably like April, May. Yeah. Like super uncertain. Like all the national parks are shutting down. And I'm like, sweet. Like I got these Chinese drones. So I'm going to pack my bags and I'm going to head out and we're going to make this thing happen. So it's an interesting time too for aerial cinematography because like, you're shooting landscapes and it was all about people that you couldn't really interact with. Exactly. And is this a friend of yours that's with you? No, this is me. So that was you? Yeah, that was me. My goodness, didn't even recognize you. Yeah, exactly. So you just set up a camera and you're shooting yourself by yourself? Yeah. Wow. And then I had like a friend of mine join on part of the trip. Then he had to fly back home because he was like, this stuff is real. My parents like want me home. Like, so he flew back to Minnesota. But
dude, I remember that. Anytime you got like the slightest like itch in your throat, you're like, no.
Yeah.
So scary.
It was like right when the White House was like, hey, like, this is really serious. Like, we need to, everyone needs to like shelter in place and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just out here ripping a dirt bike in Caneville, like seeing all these places in Southern Utah that I'm like, didn't know existed, and feeling the magic of filmmaking. And
dude, this is amazing. I want to like bring it back a little bit, because one of the biggest things I wanted to talk to you about was like this progress in drone aerial cinematography with the progress of drones. So where did you start with drones? What was the first one you flew?
So I would say the Mavic 1 was probably the first one that I flew. I mean, I flew the Phantom series, the Phantom 2, Phantom 3.
Yeah.
But I never could afford one so until the Mavic 1. So I ended up getting that as my first drone.
Did they give it to you?
No. So this was before.
This is before that campaign.
Okay. And so I owned the Mavic 1, then I think I upgraded to the Mavic 2, and the Mavic 2 is the stuff I shot in Bali while I was there that kind of caught DJI's eye. And then DJI gave me the Air 2 that I shot that campaign with, and they were like, wait, how did you get that image out of that drone? Like,
that's cool.
Because at that point it was like, oh, Air 2s are like, or the Air series was not a proven drone, but it was like so good to me. So, and then my next campaign with DJI was an FPV campaign.
Cool.
So it was funny how you were talking about the evolution of drones, and my connection with DJI was right as that evolution was happening. There was definitely some OGs in the industry, the Johnny FPVs, a bunch of other like really talented FPV pilots. And I was like, owned my Rotor Riot like FPV drone that was pre-built, and I like knew how to bind it, and that's about it. Flew in my backyard. And then this campaign came up, and I was like, yeah, I fly FPV. I've flown for a month every day.
Yeah.
So
fake it till you make it.
So I ended up like,
was this their first FPV?
This was their first FPV drone to market. And this was an interesting campaign.
Bro, these shots probably blew their mind.
It was definitely a funny one because it had that same energy of like, COVID's not going to stop me.
Yeah.
And this one was right when I had moved to Utah after that original campaign, because I was like, this place is too beautiful.
Yeah.
So I did half in Hawaii, half in Utah. And the whole campaign was actually shot in auto exposure because they didn't have a manual exposure setting on the drone. And I was like, how do you guys not have a manual exposure setting?
Yeah.
So I was having to manipulate the drone, and it was.
Oh yeah, you see that? Like,
you see a little shifts from time to time. But it was funny because this piece was like one of my first like viral pieces for DJI that on my channel, where I released it, and I think this one has over 1 million views.
Cool.
And I just got to like experience a lot of people being inspired.
Yeah.
And maybe not being the traditional like engineer drone guy, but instead just like, okay, I have a filmmaking background. I can pick up any tool and make it work.
It's like going from traditional, or like being in traditional sports, to like extreme, like crazy sports. Like that's how it feels like when you think of these drones that are just, just straight, and then you upgrade to this. It's like a whole different world of being able to operate and just follow a subject, man.
I mean, it's magical.
Yeah.
It really is magical. It was funny because we always like to kind of joke around and be like, how big of a shit show this campaign was, because there was definite times where we were like, I don't know if this campaign's gonna even like happen, because we were like in Hawaii and we had bad weather one day, and like I tanked a drone into a palm tree, totally broke it. And I was like, I only had one left, and I was like really frustrated with myself, and went to the park, and I was just like flying around because the weather was bad. And I didn't know traditional FPV very well. And so I had like my tilt degree at like 40 degrees, which means the drone is gonna inherently fly way faster because your perspective is almost like looking up.
Oh, yeah.
So all of the props are gonna be at a high aggressive tilt angle.
Okay.
And so I was flying around and really fast, and I ended up clipping something and totaling my last drone that I had.
No way.
And the gimbal was broken and all that. And I was like, I can't believe it. I'm gonna embarrass like myself to DJI and whatnot. And so I ended up putting Silly Putty on the neck of the gimbal to like hold it in place. And then I put the NDs on top of the Silly Putty.
No way. That's awesome.
And I ended up shooting the whole campaign on that broken FPV
Wow.
Silly Putty drone.
That's amazing.
For the whole global campaign.
Yeah.
And yeah, I still have it in my office.
That's cool. That's a trophy. That's like a little like a thing that you got to keep forever. I still have my Phantom 2. That was the first drone I bought. And then the Phantom 4. Yeah, I skipped 3. But they're still in my office, sitting in my shelf. That's really cool, man.
The spoils of war.
I know, right? That's amazing. I do want to ask how many drones you've crashed, but before we go to that, so we haven't really talked about your YouTube channel and Instagram. So during all this time, you're building your YouTube channel. Is that like your main focus? And you're kind of becoming a YouTuber, or are you like becoming an influencer, or like I guess tell me a little bit about that.
Kind of, right? Like so. I always kind of cringed at the idea of being an influencer. So I tried to like stay away from that in a sense.
It probably wasn't even a term yet.
It was not a term. Like people were trying to make it a term, and I was like, what?
You're a creator.
But I was a creator that people were noticing my work online, and I was really passionate about that. But I still did commercial projects that never saw the light of day, like in the same time frame. But the ones that we did for DJI, we were able to release on my YouTube channel. And that, it's like every launch day was like propelled the views, and it was like a frantic feeling, but like so rewarding that each time they were like, I would like go through the comments, and I say this in a very humble way, or trying to say this in a humble way, but they were like, this should be the launch video. And it was just like my creator video to the campaign. And it was like, this looks better than the launch video. And so eventually DJI noticed that I should maybe just do the launch videos.
Yeah.
And so that became more of a production focused and less on my YouTube. So I don't even post my campaigns on my YouTube anymore, potentially because I'm just lazier, or because I just was like, okay, I'm really going to focus on the craft as much as possible.
Cool.
And maybe not focus as much on trying to get the viewership.
Yeah. It's kind of like the YouTube was really your platform for people to notice you.
Exactly.
And now you've kind of got the gigs because of that, which are the ones that are the launch videos and things like that. That's super cool, dude. And that's kind of a testament to anyone that wants to get started. It's like, just put stuff out there. You never know who's going to see it. If it's good enough, you're going to get, the opportunities will come. And that's so much about, I tell young people all the time that are like, should I be posting to social media? Like, what should I do? How do I get more jobs? How do I get more gigs? And it comes down to having a reputation and being credible and having credibility. And no one knows what the heck you can do unless you're just putting it out there. And then obviously putting your own spin on it, I think is unique, and making it your own, because we're all artists and we're stealing from each other. We're being inspired from, certain things we've seen. As you're in this development phase, as you're getting better at drones, who are you watching? Who was there anyone ahead of you with FPV that was inspiring you? Or were you, it seems like you're at the front end. Are you kind of breaking boundaries with people?
That is an interesting question. Absolutely, there's people ahead of me.
Yeah.
Like Johnny FPV is a legend.
Yeah.
Like there are tons of friends of mine that are way better at FPV than me, or more engineer focused, like Bryce Presowich here that used to work with Override, does a bunch of projects with them.
Yep.
Like he's insanely talented. He helped me like construct some of my first quads. Some people try to like put that like on me and be like, this is one of the best pilots in the world. I'm like, bro, I'm not one of the best pilots in the world.
Yeah.
I love being a good pilot and working as hard as I can. And maybe I don't even really look at the top and be like, hey, I want to be like them.
Gotcha.
I'm really just like focused on trying to be as unique as possible, trying to come up with cool concepts, trying to execute well. And all the noise of who's better and all that can fall to the wayside.
Love that.
Yeah, but there's mad talented people everywhere.
Yeah.
And the second that you think that you're on top, you go onto Vimeo, you just watch a couple videos and you'll be like, wow, I suck at filmmaking.
Well, and that's so important to always kind of have, not even compare, which is so important not to do. It can get in your head, but like to have something to chase, or someone did something that you're like, wow, I can get better. Because as soon as you feel like you're the best, and it sounds like you'll always have that mindset, which I love. Once you stop learning, man, you're just going to start dying in your craft.
And I think the hardest part that a lot of the society, right, or the creative society is having right now is having those goals and not idolizing them too much to eventually become exactly like them,
Yeah.
duplicate copies of them. And I think that's really like a lot of creators just don't know their identity.
Totally.
And so understanding that, hey, like, learning from people's great, but the best stuff that's going to come out is the stuff that's like inherently from within you and from within your perspective.
Yeah. And it's unique to you. Yeah.
Like, but you can always be inspired by people.
Totally. I love that. I love that idea of getting out and finding your voice and getting out and figuring out your style. Because a lot of kids get started and they have no idea, and it's like, what do I do? And that, yes, there are people that inspire you that you want to maybe be like, or at least emulate their style. And then as you get going, you'll slowly start to find that voice, that style. What was the word you used? I can't remember exactly how you said it, but it was great.
Identity?
Your identity. As you start to find your identity, that's when things really get special, because you're unique. So many people want to be Sam Colder. So many people want to be Devin Supertramp. And it kind of falls flat because it's been done before. But I love this, like, you're you. And that brings me to the question of like, what is your identity as a FPV creative director? Like, do you have something that you can kind of speak to? Like when people think of you, like what is it they maybe say about you, or maybe it's something you know about in yourself that's like, this is my identity, this is my style?
I would say that like I fiercely chase perfection.
Cool.
But I'm not perfect at all. I'm very far from it. I have a very like dirty, gritty style almost. And so when even people ask me to do clean commercials, I'm like,
You got it. Yeah,
but I would say like people always know my tenacity, like for things, whether it's a concept or an idea or like a way of pushing budget way further than it should be pushed to like achieve a vision. Like that's kind of what I would say people know of me and know of my style is like they know that I'm going to push 100% to make the best piece possible.
Yeah. That reminds me so much of Devin. And I think that it's why I think you're successful and why I think you're going to continue to do this and continue to grow is you're not doing it for the fame. You're not doing it for the money. You literally love it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how Devin is and was. He like, I had him in here and I was like, so what are you going to keep doing? He's like, I'm going to keep making YouTube videos. I love it. I'm like, that's to me, I'm like, I need I worked there and I was like, I can't keep doing this. I got to like progress. And it really just came down to me wanting my own identity. And so having that perspective of figuring out the who you are, and I just kind of lost my train of thought. But dude, I completely lost my train of thought.
No, you're Sean. I was honestly afraid of doing that many times.
I do it often. But Devin, okay, loving your craft. Devin loved his craft. You loved your craft, and so I'm excited brings me to the 5 to 10 year question that I'll get to is like, where are you headed? I think that's going to be exciting. So I think we've wrapped that section up. The question I wanted to ask is like, how many drones have you crashed? And do you have a number? And it sounds like when you say you're gritty, you have tenacity, you're pushing the limits and you're getting as close to things. You're giving that like, oh, wow moment.
Yeah. And when it comes to the amount of drones that I've crashed specifically, I honestly have no idea.
Yeah. It's a lot then. That's
potentially. Yeah.
More than me. I've crashed 2.
Way more. With DJI campaigns, you end up coming back with a little graveyard from each campaign being like, sorry, DJI.
Yeah.
This didn't work.
Yeah.
and
hopefully they expect that out of you.
Right. No.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they keep coming back, is because they know that I'm going to push as hard as I can. But I have gotten better. I've gone more conservative on the drone crashing stuff, just because of when you're on other people's sets as a hired drone pilot, the last thing you want to do is crash.
Yeah.
So when I'm on my own sets, like we're going as hard as physically possible. When I'm hired on as an aerial cinematographer, I'm very calculated.
Yeah.
And like we just wrapped up 2 or 3 different concert shoots for a promoter in LA, and we shot like over a crowd of 7,000, 10,000 people, and it's like you can't mess up.
Yeah. Can't hit
so
anybody.
Can't have any weird disconnects on FPV. You can't mess up. So like I end up thriving in those environments because I am very calculated in my approach. But yeah, like your adrenal glands kind of get tired after a while because you're just going from one insane shoot to the next, where you're like, have to keep everything composed and make sure that yes, you're getting the best shot possible, but you're keeping everyone safe. You're not hitting a base jumper while they're doing a trick. You're flying next to helicopters. You're flying over crowds. You're flying near and expensive items. So drone pilots are like glorified online, I would say.
Yeah.
But the preparation that it takes to get there and to get out in one piece it's a lot.
Yeah. Was that project you're talking about the one that you had the lasers like hit your sensor and it like jacked up it was just the
GoPro sensor. It was not a big deal.
Okay.
Like it was a bummer because it was like right before John Summit was about to get on stage.
Yeah.
And we were flying next to this art car that I had shot at Burning Man multiple years now and have a really good relationship with them. I've never had my sensor fried by a laser before.
Yeah.
But I had so many people being like, hey, be careful of the lasers. I can't believe you would fly that close to lasers. And I'm just like, just dodging them. And that was the first one that caught me. But I think I was just really close. And they have like different intensity lasers that come off every so often. So I think I was just like, it was bad timing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like did a quick swap and shot John Summit. Everything went well. So
cool. Talk to me about this, like shooting commercials, being prepared, shooting at an event like that with tons of people. The pressure's probably got to be insane. And talk to me about the preparation. And this could be good for someone to learn through, is like when you show up there, who are you talking to? How many times are you practicing? Are you walking the area? Like I think a big one's probably cables. Cause I remember that was a huge thing with what we were doing is we would wrap the gimbal around cables that we didn't even know were there, or phone lines.
That's almost happened so close to my Inspire before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell you endless drone stories of ways that we prepare and whatnot. For that specific one, I think like you'd walk the premise, just double check for anything that could be outlying, like the cables or other potential issues with signal. I think that's always a big thing. Like with FPV drones, you're kind of in the Wild West. You don't have necessarily return to home. When you're flying a sub 250 drone over a crowd, you're usually just rocking like fully manual FPV, and those things fall out of the sky all the time. And you're working with a bunch of electronics and whatnot, and signal transmission. So you have to like test all of that beforehand. That specific one, I like pulled out my Mavic 4 that's worked consistently and worked like 2 days before, and turned it on and it didn't work. And like the gimbal connection was weird, and it was like, contact DJI. Well,
great.
Sorry, I have like a gig in 6 hours.
Yep.
So I ended up like running to my buddy's place halfway across LA and picking up his Mavic 4 for the day. Turned out the Mavic 4 just needed to be dried out because we were on a shoot 2 days before, and it got left in the rain by one of my crew members.
Oh my gosh. Can you tell me, there's 2 questions I want to ask, and maybe I start with, what's a good story of the worst accident that maybe you've had so far? And is that taboo? Do you not talk about those things? Because like,
it is slightly taboo, but I'm trying to think of like one that I haven't had any catastrophic ones.
Okay.
But I will say, this one's interesting. DJI sent like the new Inspire 3 as soon as before it came out.
Yeah.
And we shot a piece that I'm extremely passionate about, that actually toured around the Banff Film Festival. It's called Desert Wings.
Yeah.
And it was about like just very aerial focused, all shot on the Inspire 3 on paramotors in the desert.
Cool.
And it has like a cowboy theme, and it's really fun piece. I love it. Like we shot it full 8K. And this is like first couple weeks of owning an Inspire 3, learning how to dual up with my buddy.
Are you holding the Inspire right there? Is that like a shot where you're holding the Inspire?
Yeah. So
nice.
we have BTS of it too, but
cool.
The drone comes down, gets caught by one of the individuals, walks it in, and so that was really fun. But we went all across, Utah for this production. Shot, I don't even think it had like a significant budget whatsoever.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like a passion project of mine. But when it came to it, like the biggest aspect is when it comes to flying with these individuals is their safety is priority.
Yeah.
You can tank a drone all day long, but you are keeping the athletes that you're shooting with safe.
Right.
And that's what's amazing about the Inspire 3 is the dual operation capability just allows you to have that much more control. And we would have communication with them in the air as well. So we would know like where they are, where they're going to be, where we are, so they know not to like turn into us. And some of these shots like were way harder than others. But like there's one later on in the piece where like this guy's skimming the water with his feet, like, and we're 10 yards from him, just tracking him alongside the salt flats. So like that shot was like highly orchestrated, and he comes right over the drone, but it's like he gets stuck in our props, and like,
so was this,
it's over,
Was this the project that something?
So, and I'm getting to that because
I'm nervous.
It was right when I was learning the Inspire, like one of the first days.
And are you dual operating with the Inspire?
Yeah, dual operating with the Inspire. Nothing happened with the paramotors. So
oh, good. I was like nervous.
Yeah, I was just building up anticipation. No, so it was actually a really dumb mistake, but I ended up coming in for a hand catch, because you always hand catch and hand launch the Inspire because sometimes where you're flying from is really like gnarly. Like,
oh my gosh, that's
that's the
wow.
That's the shot where he's skimming the water.
And the drone, bro, that's a shot.
Like we're literally like 10
Yes.
yards from him. Like, yeah.
I have to imagine that you're like losing your mind. Are you
Oh,
operating
we were
the
losing
camera?
it.
Or are you
I was
flying the drone?
operating the camera on that one specifically. Ian Reinfurt was shooting on the drone itself.
If I could have chosen a different path, it would just to be a cam op, because I used to cam op for Chris Newman, Cine Chopper, and it's like I said, you're in the goggles or whatever, and you're just losing it. And then that's my favorite thing to do, is just like operate.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that one was a definite fun one. But so I come in and I'm landing the drone, and right now, like in that time, the firmware was not updated properly on the drone, and so I had that like automatic lowering thing, and so I like grab it, and where I grab it was like not a safe spot, and it like started automatically lowering but the motors were still on, and it just like sliced my finger right to the bone, and I'm like bleeding all over my hand.
No way.
And I like bring my hand in, like bring a fist, and then I like see my bone. I'm like, oh God. And this is like right when we're starting to shoot one of the segments. And I'm like, well, that's an issue.
Yeah.
And so I ended up like putting like some toilet paper we had in the car and taping it up, and then still flying.
Nice.
And then I ended up getting stitches that night. But
wow. But you pushed through and got it done.
But pushed through and got it done. So
dang, man.
yeah.
It reminds me of because the first time I ever crashed a drone, and it was actually the Inspire. It was the first one, and it had the lock. It was like you put the thing on, and it had like a lock. I don't know what they've progressed to when you put the propeller on. You put it in, and it just twisted.
Yeah.
So I'm chasing a Mustang in like, I don't know, southern Utah somewhere. And I'm cam opping and flying. Or I can't remember.
So you're single opping?
Yes, single opping. That's one of the questions I want to get to, is like this like technical side of the drones. But I'm flying, and we're going so fast, and Devin goes, all right, cut. And I just stopped. And the whole, one of the propellers just went, pew, shot off of it. And so the drone just goes like this, boom, and just blows up on the ground.
Oh my gosh. So it was Inspire 1 then, hey?
Yeah. It just wasn't a good attaching mechanism, whatever it was.
I know what you're talking about, because it used to have like that twist lock.
Yes,
okay,
and it was like plastic.
I understand.
So I just stopped so fast, one of them just popped off.
That's insane.
Yeah, and we just saw what happened to the drone. It hits the ground, and then we couldn't find the third propeller. So we're like, yep, it just popped right off. But
I've had a lot of close calls with very similar things where we're doing air-to-airs with the Inspire and like some small little drone, and it chops up my propeller because we didn't coordinate the air-to-air right, and it's like the drone's struggling to stay afloat. I'm like, please.
Oh my gosh.
We ended up getting that one down fine, but like it was like super gnarly. So there's always like super close calls with drone.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a wild industry, and it's gonna get even more wild.
Oh, I believe it. It's fun for me. And in fact, I was going to ask you to pull something up. The reason it's fun for me is this is bringing back so many memories. And I don't normally do this where I'm like, hey, I want to show something.
Yeah, please do.
But have you heard of parabatics? They're stunt. What are they called? Wingsuit or the?
Oh, okay, wingsuits.
The
wingsuiters.
Paramotors.
Oh, paramotors.
Same thing you shot.
Yeah.
The paramotors. They're a team called Parabatics. It's Parabatics, Devin Supertramp. So it was the first video I directed on my own with Devin.
Dope.
And it was on my birthday, actually. We went out to New Mexico and shot their event, but flew a drone with one of them. And so it was very similar to this, watching that was like, oh my gosh, I know exactly how that feels when you're coordinating in the air with someone in the air at that kind of a speed. Yeah. And so I just wanted to kind of show you that and see if you can tell me if I did a good job. But
dude, I mean,
it's the balloon one. It's New Mexico. Oh, the balloon festival.
It's funny because I've probably seen it.
You may have.
I mean, I used
That'd be
to,
sick.
I used to be a Devon. I mean, the whole crew like was.
Okay, first of all, let me
pretty
preface,
epic.
super saturated.
I think the screen is super saturated.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at some of my previous work, I was like,
It is saturated for sure, and it's a little bit hot. Are we having playback issues?
Oh no, you said first of all.
Okay, well, we've got that out of the way. In fact, there's a lot of noise in some of the colors. You can fast forward it a little bit, but has that epic Devon Supertramp intro. So yeah, we ended up shooting out here in New Mexico. But here we go. Yeah,
yo.
just flying with the people. That was from the
Oh my
ground.
gosh.
There's some pretty fun
That's
shots.
insane. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like there you go. But we didn't get very crazy with it, man. We kept our distance because it's spooky when
That was
we
the
didn't have-
original
we didn't have
Desert Wings right there.
Yeah. We couldn't communicate with them. And at one point I even went tandem with one of the guys
Oh, so
and
sick.
shot with the red, wasn't even
Oh.
attached to anything. And I'm just looking down 100 feet, holding on to the glide cam in a red, just hoping I don't drop it.
Dude, I haven't seen this film, but like this is crazy. You guys did a really good job.
Thanks, man.
This was in New Mexico?
Yeah, it's the Albuquerque Balloon Festival, and they obviously launched tons. And then we went out to the area, and I think some of these are even where I'm tandem. But yeah, we just went out there to shoot for these guys. In fact, Parker shot one in Dubai with them, and that's kind of that first interaction with them. But anyway,
So sick. Yeah, paramotor pilots are insane. I eventually want to do it. I just want to have a couple more good years before I
Right.
KO myself
Totally.
into a cliff.
have you heard of Marshall Miller?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he's epic. So
I shot him at Burning Man.
Did you really?
Yeah.
How cool, man.
Yeah, like for sunrise, I was like, oh,
He's so cool, and he paramotors all over this area because he's in Lehigh as well.
yep.
But anyway, man, this is exciting. This is really fun for me. So, because I love drones and I would love to have done that as a career. And I kept telling Chris, dude, keep calling me. And then he just didn't call me. And I faded out. But now I'm a businessman. So anyway, where did we end up in your career? It was like 2020 COVID. You did the 2 campaigns. You seemed like you created a really strong relationship with DJI. Do you credit DJI as like
For sure.
one of your main clients that's kind of put you off? Because I know you did that other launch video, which was
Yeah.
a couple months ago, right?
Yeah. So it's funny. We're a little over a month from DJI being fully banned in the United States.
No way.
So
Is that public news, or did
Yeah,
we
this
just
is-
hear that first?
breaking here on the podcast.
Coming.
DJI is screwed. No.
That's wild.
They posted online like two weeks ago or a week ago.
Okay.
Being like, hey, we're fighting getting audited properly, and they've been needing to get an audit and they have to pass it to be able to operate in the United States. And no agency has stepped up to make that happen. So I don't know the details of it. Frankly, I think if it was a big deal, they should have been shouting from the rooftops
Totally.
from the beginning of the
Yeah,
year.
get some petitions signed.
There are a bunch of petitions being signed right now to keep DJI in the United States. I think it's a very complex situation. Because national security or like
Yeah, true.
leaking stuff to the CCP, who knows? Like, but DJI has been like an insanely supportive company to me and to thousands of filmmakers here in the United States.
Yeah.
So I think to see them fully go in the way that I think it could happen is really sad. I'm always like a skeptic. I'm like, I'm going to, when it happens, let me know.
Yeah.
But with the whole aspect of tariffs this summer, like we've gotten very little DJI products into the United States
Wow.
because of that.
Yeah.
And then, the ban on top of it, I could see them fully disappearing from the market. And they're like one of my main clients. So I still I just finished up 2 campaigns for them last month. I'm still like working on post-production on one of them.
Cool.
But yeah, they hire me definitely like 4 or 5 times a year on big campaign shoots. So it's like, it would definitely suck to have them exit the market.
Yeah.
But if there was a time for US manufacturing on drone side of things to,
Go do it.
really go do it. Like, this is your time. If you're an engineer, I am not. But if you're an engineer and you know someone with a lot of capital, make it happen right now. Because
do you think
this is it.
I had no idea. That's super wild. Do you think that, are there other companies that are even close to DJI with drones? I've never heard.
Well, and it's funny because it's like there used to be different drone companies that had some stake in the market, and they would do like autonomous drones. They would like follow you on your ride and stuff, but then they all got switched to the military. So they're dedicating a lot of stuff because of the whole aspect of Ukraine.
Yeah.
Like, and the intelligence that they're learning there on how effective it is for warfare, that they're switching all of their manufacturing gear to military operation and military industry here. And not dedicating any of it for consumer filmmaking. And then you're going to cut out the biggest consumer filmmaking drone company.
Yeah. So do you think you'll move out of the States if that happens?
No.
No.
No, I mean,
Follow
frankly, I'll shoot anywhere. Like I've shot in a bunch of different countries for different campaigns. I'm very capable in that way to be able to adapt. So I'm less scared for my business. I'm more interested to see how we're going to fill the void.
Yeah. The progress of drones, dude, and to this point, that's like a decade, just over a decade.
It's fast.
And here we are. It's kind of like shifting almost to, do you think it goes away? How does it work? How does aerial cinematography continue? Do you have to?
I don't think it will ever go away, but
Yeah.
I could see it like it just depends on how involved our government is within our lives. Like if our government decides that they really want to outlaw any drone because of national security, because there's massive national security.
That makes sense.
On all drones.
Yeah.
And it's a really real threat. From here and abroad, like I went to India and smuggled drones into India and to shoot a short film, and they hate drones over there because of terrorism. So it's like, this is a really real threat. So depending on if the government decides to just shut it all down would be very interesting. And I could see it happening. But I think we're America. So in the end, we're gonna have some sort of freedom.
Totally.
On that front, I just really wish we fight for that because, I mean, a world with only controlled aerial cinematography it's kind of lame.
It's boring.
It's boring. So I mean, all these people that are pushing it,
exactly.
are renegades.
And then you're now going to be controlled because it'll stay commercial. Like you'll probably be able to have the licenses and get permits. But it's going to be very controlled because it's the reputation of a production house or a brand that's on the line, and you're not able to go out and just try things. Dude, that's so crazy because I'm thinking about how cool for us to be like, back in my day, we used to fly drones anywhere and everywhere. And then here's my footage and people are like, what?
Exactly. And I think one thing that people just need to know as drone cinematographers is the responsibility. I kind of hinted to it earlier, but like you have a massive responsibility. So to keep people safe, to be responsible, and to like also push hard in your creativity. But it's definitely tough because one bad apple can really hurt a lot of people. So I think the age of being a drone pilot is going to change in the next few years. For sure.
And so they because when I think back to when I very first had a Phantom 2, the first one with a gimbal, I was flying that thing in Southern California, like 10 feet above people. And everyone, this was 2014.
No one cared, probably.
Everyone was like, what is that thing? What is going on? And you'd get crowds around you and you're just like sitting there flying it. And there's just no rules. And it was so fun. And then obviously Devin pushed the boundaries like crazy because he had Chris Newman, who was building drones. And so they were like the first ones to drone Iceland. And
Yeah,
no one had
it's
even heard of Iceland really and seen these images. And they're like, this is like another planet. And then as people, like you said, the bad apples, just one wrong move and it just starts to create restrictions and gets to a point where it sounds like we're at. But also the national security threat, that's interesting because they're going to get so advanced. And I mean, people are so worried about drones now. You see a lot of videos of just like, what is that? And it's like, we're being spied on and you just never know.
And that's the issue of it being used in Ukraine has changed everything.
Yeah.
Drone warfare has changed everything.
Wow.
So, because I mean, the privacy aspect of not wanting your vacation filmed from the sky by some rando is legitimate.
Yeah.
But, you know, more on the national security side and the public safety side is for sure real.
Yeah.
But now you can just buy a drone anywhere and everywhere. So, and it's so glorified online that you end up having a lot of people that haven't had these years and years and years of experience and countless, you know, reminders to be safe. And they're just like going out and can do whatever. So I hope there will still be a ton of freedom, you know, moving forward. And that's kind of why FPV is so magic.
Yeah.
It's because it's just a bunch of parts soldered together with some motors and you're just ripping in the sky and no one can tell you can't take off. And like, it's, you can, it's like cowboys. Like you're just do whatever you want theoretically, but now you have that personal responsibility.
Totally. Do you, I wanted to get into the technical side of drones because you know a lot about like what type of drone to fly. Do you have, just talk to me about the technicalities of a drone. It sounds like you fly all kinds of drones, Inspire, Mavics, FPV. What do you like to fly? One of my favorite things, just to kind of give some insight of the question is, I loved the Inspire on the 100. It was like equivalent to like a 150.
Oh, for sure.
With the crop, but loved the telephoto and getting that crazy parallax. It's some of my favorite shots. Never did FPV, and I have to imagine that's a whole different thing. Technical side, what do you enjoy the most when it comes to flying a certain type of drone? What's like your go-to for certain things like a festival, commercial, nature? Just kind of riff on that for a minute.
Yeah, I think FPV is definitely a really cool medium to like have the very interactive looking images coming out of it. It's like super dynamic. It's super aggressive in nature. Like you can go and show off environments like, you know, the side of a mountain, like in a way cooler way, in my opinion, with an FPV drone. So I definitely like flying those for like fast, aggressive, you know, maneuvers, or if you need to track a subject in a very, very, very visceral way or in a close way. So FPV doesn't like, it doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah.
But I love the Inspire and the fact that you can fly it almost like an FPV where it's fast, aggressive, low to the ground, but then you have that 8K image that's a little bit more professional. And I think FPV can definitely get overdone. Yeah. And I just like being able to expand as far as you can go. Totally. And I think every time I fly the Inspire, I'm like, there's more that I could get better at. There's more I could get better at. There's more synergy I can have with my camera operator. So it's like the Inspire is like limitless in my opinion. And if the Inspire could go 30, 40, 50 miles an hour faster, that would kind of be my dream drone. But it just really depends on the circumstance. Totally. If we're in Alaska and we're looking at Sammy Carlson going down the mountain, I want to be in the FPV goggles. But if we're shooting the paramotor stuff, to be honest, like there's really nothing like the Inspire. Yeah. You're just getting smooth shots. Yeah. What would you say to someone that wants to get really good at operating? And do you enjoy operating a camera or flying? Do you ever single op? Single op all the time. Okay. So
With the Inspire, I guess.
Yeah, I kind of pride myself in the fact of like being able to come into a production just myself.
Yeah.
And not have like a dual op team, but it's way better with the dual op team and way more fun.
Yeah.
So,
how would someone what do you do to get good at Inspire? Do you play video games?
I do not play video games. My parents didn't allow me to have
that's same
video
same
games
thing
growing up. So
my video game was drones, and I'm sure that's how you feel too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think honestly how exciting FPV is it's still unmatched. Like, and if you're gonna try to get good at drones, like flying FPV, whether it's fully manual or in normal mode, like is the best way to get really good, really fast. The simulator is always helpful. Like you can download a simulator on your computer and test it out. Or with these new drones that DJI is coming out with the Avata 2, you can have a lot of safeguards to FPV that you didn't have before. And then you just unlock it step by step as you get better.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not all created equal. Like flying a tiny little sub 250, in angle mode is different than, or in level mode, that is different than, flying a cine lifter and chasing a car in snowy conditions when your battery's screaming at you because it's too cold.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
So
that's wild. Can the one thing that really stood out to me when I was looking at your Instagram, I think you have it pinned. It's the most recent DJI launch video. I think the
Nano.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Can we look at that and is that one that you would say stands out in your mind as one of your more favorite? One of your more good campaigns, or one you're most proud of? Is there one maybe that you are most proud of?
I think I'm proud of all of them in different ways.
Yeah.
I got to work with like a really talented editor, Grant Manor, on this shoot specifically, and I really liked how it came out, and we incorporated some really cool like CG elements.
And that's CG.
Yeah. So
with an element of drone, or was that fully
CG?
Wow.
So, yeah, and then that was also fully CG, and then we conceptualized this transition to go into the tunnel. Wow. This is FPV, so we're incorporating elements of like real footage into our VFX. But this one was really fun to have those VFX elements like play a part, which usually I haven't done. So I'm kind of breaking into being more savvy on the VFX side of things and being able to post supervise the VFX team. Cool. I don't do VFX myself, but like being able to dream up these concepts and seeing them come to life in the campaigns are really fun. But, most people on the DJI like creator side of things, they would take this product and be like, okay, it's cool. Like it's their like micro GoPro, like sick, like not the sickest campaign I could have done for them, but whatever. But we push and push and push as hard as we can. This next scene, I believe, this next scene is me heli skiing in Alaska, and it was just me as the crew.
You're
like
kidding me.
So
how cool.
Shot all of these elements like just by myself with Russ Robinson. He's like a good buddy of mine, lives in Moab. And he was like, hey, do you want to go to Alaska and heli ski? I know that you love skiing. And I was like, absolutely. Also, can I bring my Nano?
Yeah.
So
was that, obviously this is all over the place, different times of year, different locations. How long?
All done within 3 weeks.
That was the question. How long did this take?
5 shoot days, 6 shoot days.
So did you it sounds like he asked you if you wanted to go skiing, or were you like putting out the fillers to like, hey, I need some stuff for this campaign?
He had planned to go do the ski trip, and I was on his book. So I was like, I'm going no matter what. Yeah. Like, I don't care what comes up. I'm going to this Alaska trip. Yeah. But then, DJI was like, hey, like we have this Nano campaign, and I pitched them something that I was already doing.
Yeah.
So I was already going to Alaska. And so we kind of just tacked it on, and it was like, well, this is one of them that I won't have the crew on. And then the other scenes I will have crew. So I'll have like usually we run a really lean crew, like
Yeah.
5-6 people, and we're just doing everything with 5 or 6 people.
That's cool. And the concept and the visuals of it, they came to you for this campaign, and you
Pitching
conceptualized the whole thing,
Yeah.
and you're post-production supervising. So you fully directed this thing.
Yeah, fully.
That's amazing.
So
That's got to be a pretty proud piece for you.
yeah, we kind of like, I kind of forget how like cool some of these projects are,
I'm sure you're
because I'm
jaded,
just like
dude.
in it, and
Yeah.
I'm just like trying to go through the revisions and trying to be, dedicated in the process of like getting things done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's some really cool pieces that we get to like dream up fun concepts. Like that one, we had a hot air balloon guy in Moab that's a buddy of mine. And we were just like, well, can we have a DJ like set up on your hot air balloon one morning? And so we like found the DJ, like built out like a spot for her deck to be, had literally 30 minutes to shoot that scene. So we were like hiding in the hot air balloon and like throwing the drone out and like flying the drone around the hot air balloon and then landing it back in the hot air balloon with the FPV, and then like taking the Nano off the FPV and then putting it onto a different system that's rigged up with her deck cam and all of that stuff, and like trying to get all those shots as quick
Yeah.
as possible for like one of the scenes.
Yeah.
And so do 6 or 7 of those for each campaign and be as creative as possible,
Yeah.
have it like showcase a certain feature, and then make a sick piece out
You're
of it.
extremely humble, because that is really good. And you're like, oh, I don't know. And it's like, dude, like the creativity you have in your mind is pretty cool. And like, especially when you're on set and you're kind of like getting things as they come, I imagine, but you also have a plan.
Definitely have a plan
Yep.
of what we're shooting, have a shot list, have everything like dialed to a T. We're pretty much trying to bring like big production to scrappy filmmaking.
Yeah.
And that's like where like Peak Motion Films, like my production companies, like comes into play, is like, how can we attach like what big production people do and make it scrappy
Yeah.
and make it affordable and like bring a new sense of excitement and creativity into each scene. But yeah,
I love that, because that's where things are going. It's getting a little more, I wouldn't say easy, but the cameras are better. They're smaller.
yeah,
You can put them in great places. You don't need as big of a crew, although I do see the reason for it at times. We're in that middle ground of like, I'd say even lower middle ground of really high production, but really small crews, really fast editing, production,
Love
doing
it.
what we'll do in a day that maybe takes someone a week.
yeah.
So I really like that. Talk to me. I'm glad you brought up your business. Talk to me about the business side of this world. And it sounds like you're the owner of the business. Do you have a partner? And like,
I don't have a partner.
How do you navigate the business of, what's the name of your business again?
Peak Motion Films.
Peak Motion Films.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the business side of running that business.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one, wearing so many hats.
Yeah.
And obviously a lot of people feel this, there's a lot of production companies here in town.
Yep.
A lot of them are sole owners or 2 owners,
Yep.
small crews, very few employees. Personally, I've like struggled to figure out how to scale.
So hard.
It's one of the most frustrating businesses
It
imaginable.
Really is. I'm
It-
glad
like,
you're speaking to that.
I was talking about it with a buddy of mine. We were golfing yesterday, and we're just like, how? Like,
Yeah.
I'm coming at the end of the year, and I'm like, I want to scale, but like, how? I moved here to Utah, started Peak 5 Media, so had 5 individuals. That didn't work out, even though it was insanely successful within 6 months of starting the business. But you know how it is, like with creatives, it's like we're all learning how to be business people.
Yep.
And a lot of people just don't know
Yeah.
how to run a business.
Yep.
And so I ended up like doing productions more solo, and then for Jackery, DJI, and all of them. And now I'm starting to have like that consistency. Still love working with other production
Yeah.
companies, but me and my girlfriend, Brittany Enns, like kind of she produces and I direct and shoot, and we kind of just like hire all of our contractors throughout each campaign, learning a lot, failing a lot. But yeah, I mean, I think the business side of this industry is the hardest, and it needs to be studied.
Yeah.
Because the reality is there's so many things that I learned that young kids have no idea about, like no idea. And with how this industry is expanding so rapidly, we're destroying the inside of our business from the inside out. Like we are physically hemorrhaging our business. People don't understand that like it takes a lot to make the stuff happen. They only see the pretty stuff on screen, but the countless hours in the office, like dedicating my life to DJI, like for 2.5 months to close out a campaign time and time and time again.
Right.
I'm doing it because I want a future. I want a house. I want, but like I sacrifice a ton. Right. And so I think I would love to hear your perspective on it, but I think we're in this really weird spot where it's videos in demand the most it's ever been, but we're the worst in our business structure because of the variety and because of how many people in the industry can do it. It makes the supply and demand structure just like fall apart.
And when you say that we're kind of destroying it from the inside, I imagine what you mean is people are competing for price, and it's just getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. So when I think of when I started, you had the Harmon Brothers, the Creatively's, Chamber Media, these $100 million budget commercial type work. And those are gone, man. Or they're disappearing because companies see through it now. They're starting to realize they can do something way more efficient. There's really talented people. And so it's driving the price down. And that's been the hardest thing for me as I'm growing my business is the margins. It's like you said, we're putting so much time that we're not being paid for. And then you start to bring in people to that and you start to pay employees. The margins are so tough because it's like, I got to pay myself, but I'm obviously paying people. Where do I find that money for me to survive and to grow? And bro, you are preaching to the choir because like it is, these guys see me go through it. It's like so hard to land a client and have them pay you a good price so that you can pay your people and scale. Scaling, man, that's, I can riff on that for a minute. The challenge I think we struggle with and why it's one of the more unique businesses to try to scale is because it's so much based on what you've done in your past, which is you've built a style, you've built a reputation, and now you want to bring people into that. And they're like, well, no, we want Nathan. We don't. And I called my business Tyson Media because it was just me. And now that's the thing, man. They want me on set. They want to make sure that I am there because they're hiring me, not the business. So what I've done, and I actually have a whole course on this, and I just shut it down because I have no time to nurture it. But for that same reason, scaling videography is super hard, and it's all come down to consistent relationships. Like I said, we partner with businesses, and we don't charge them at the beginning of a month. We actually charge them at the end of the month after the work's been done. It sucks, but at the same time, it's transparent and it builds trust. And we itemize everything so they can see exactly what they're paying for, all the time spent. And that's the longevity feature of working with a business. And the only way to have the consistent income is to have the consistent clients. There's companies like FilmLab who are doing it more one-off and the budgets are a little higher. And I'm sure they work again, but theirs is they've got a funnel, right? And they're bringing in the next client.
So you're on a retainer style business that bills people at the end of the month as you show what you've done? So, or is there like obviously certain deliverables per month that are attached to the retainer?
Yeah. So I actually call it a flexible retainer. It's not fixed. So I say, what's your budget for the month for content? Everyone needs content. You don't just need a video. You need a full funnel these days. You need the hero. You need the UGC. You need the short skits, the all the different social media platforms. And we come in as like an in-house team that provides every single type of content that they need. And I say, okay, if you're going to hire a team, what's your budget per month? And then they tell me, 8 to 12K a month. Cool. Well, let's go for 3 months and we're going to dial in exactly what that is. And I'm going to stay within that budget. And by 3 months, they're going to be like, okay, I see where the money's going. But it's like, you have to trust me for those few months to build this relationship.
I think you nailed it on the head on when it comes to the relationships.
Yeah.
I think that's the only aspect that lasts in the industry. And I think it took me a long time to figure that out. Was the relationship aspect. I know DJI could go to a different person. They have thousands and thousands and thousands of talented individuals that could accomplish these campaigns.
Right.
And they do. They have other production companies that they end up going with for different products. Like I don't have every single product under me because I would frankly die. But
yeah, for real.
But I know that I'm valuable to them because of my effort and because of my process.
Yep.
And they've tried that with a lot of individuals and they've seen what it's like when they don't have that relationship versus when they do.
Yep.
So, developing that process with the client is amazing, but like, I don't want to just work with DJI either.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people go, oh, you're the DJI guy. I'm like,
I want to be
don't
more
want
than
to be. Like, I'm very thankful for them.
Yeah.
They got me to where I am in a lot of places, but like some of my favorite projects have been like non-DJI projects where I'm like, get to creatively think in a different way.
Yeah.
So I think it is the relationship aspect, but I still think our education on the entry level side of things is so bad that it creates this massive disconnect that is educating our clients in a very toxic way.
Yeah.
So the clients are getting unrealistic expectations because of the influx of people within the industry.
Yeah.
Now, will that plateau? Do you think? Like,
will it plateau or will it continue to get worse?
Will the influx into the industry of new creators plateau? Like,
I think it will. I think AI is I tell people this anytime I talk to AI, just like the drones. We're going to get to a point where, yes, the AI will create great videos and you can type it in and that means less people are then going to create with a video camera. They don't need to. So they're prompting the videos and then in 20, 30 years, our craft is going to be way more valuable if they need something more real. It's kind of like painters. There's less of them now because you don't have to paint anymore. But when they do paint and it's good, their paintings are worth more because there's less.
Yeah, I don't think the industry is going to fully disappear. No. But I think it will change in a massive way.
For sure.
In a massive way. And I don't know. I think
I'm curious what you think as far as it plateauing.
I think the influencer industry will plateau.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you that.
Yep.
If not hemorrhage itself, but for filmmaking, I think it's definitely going to change. Like AI is here and here to stay and getting better and better and better every month. It's like sometimes we're like, okay, chill. We don't need a new tool.
I know.
And it's funny because it's like, I'm not even that old. I'm 27 years old, but I feel like I'm less inclined to learn new skills.
Yeah, I know.
As I get older, I'm just like, I want to work. I want to get paid. I want to do cool projects, but I don't want to learn the new tool in Photoshop. Like,
Right.
and maybe that's how like the new dogs take over and
Right.
how the old
Sure.
dogs like
Yeah.
become irrelevant. But I do think the industry is going to kind of have a hard time with just where we've put ourselves financially once all of these like college kids or whoever that have been grinding and working for all these clients go, oh, I can't actually have a life for myself
Yeah.
and grow and have a house and take care of a family and whatnot. Like, it's unsustainable.
Yeah. And and you need systems and processes if you're going to build. And as you do that, because like I'm an old dog, I tell these guys all the time, I don't care to learn the next software. Like DaVinci came out and I'm like, I don't want to, I know Premiere and I crush Premiere. So I'm going to continue with that and I'm going to do what I do. But the number one thing about entrepreneurship is adapting and changing and learning new skills.
100%.
But when I say I don't like to learn new skills, it's really about the creative side of things because I have enough experience to be creative and I know what I enjoy in that area. But then when in 2020, when I wanted to launch my business, I had a few offers of like, no, we want you to stay in-house. We want you to do this. Here's the money. Here's the equity. And I was like, I got to do this business. I have this itch and I don't know if I'm going to be good at it. So I did it. And over a good couple of years, I realized I got a knack for it. I've got some, I don't know, like it just naturally kind of comes in, intuition kind of comes to me. And as I've gotten further into it, I realized how much I enjoy it. And so now I'm learning skills in business and going through hell and back to learn these things. But I'm trying to position myself to be between the client and if it's AI, then like the business owner isn't going to want to create the AI things or whatever if that ends up being a thing. But yeah, putting systems and processes behind it is also just as important as the relationship side. But I've had the same experience where I've worked with so many clients and new clients, and they're like, man, this is a breath of fresh air. Like, you guys are just fun to work with. And whether you're super good at the craft, I think they'd prefer to have someone that's awesome if it's a consistent relationship for sure. Someone that's great to hang out with, just easy. They're going to hit deadlines. They trust you that if they just fully give you the creative vision, they know you're going to execute and deliver, versus being really good at it. And I think if you can do both, which you're doing, and I think that's super important, you will be successful and you have more of a chance to scale as hard as it's going to be. But what I'm doing now, just to give you a little insight, is I've got my business and it's hard to scale. It's hard to be more profitable, but this business creates content. So I'm starting other businesses to create the content for them that are more profitable. So it's like, maybe, does that make sense?
Explain that last part.
So,
like, you're creating other businesses like...
So I get hired to create content for companies with apparel or a service or an online product. And I create the content for those companies, and then they have better business models that are, whether it's like a digital product, right, is one of the more popular businesses these days because there's no inventory. The margins are insane. If you went to sell, the multiples are crazy. So they're hiring me to create the content. So I'm like, man, I have the resources, because really it takes content and the marketing obviously is important, but creating the content for the marketing and the brand that you can then pitch to investors is the first step to creating a business. So I'm like, hey, now I'm going to start creating these businesses. Like, one of them is, I'm a health nut. I love weightlifting. I love supplements. So creating a business that I can create content for around that and actually deliver a service to people, but I'm doing the content for free because I can do it. And then we're going to go pitch it to investors and then hopefully sell. And that's where anyway, it's a whole thing, but it's like shifting away from content, but using it to create things that are better.
And I think influencers have found that as well, because they're like, oh, I'm my own marketing department. Like, let me just create a product or partner with someone that can create a product and then be able to launch it and scale it and then sell it.
Yep.
I think that's massive. If you could find products that like really change things, that's kind of where you win. So it's hard to be like fully dedicated on the creative side and make an actually good product.
So hard.
Because I think I've had companies where it's like, hey man, you want to like make your own filter, or hey, do you want to like
I'll promote
make your own drone, like, and sell it. I'm like, I've had those opportunities throughout the years and I haven't taken them because I've been so dedicated into the creative field. I think eventually I'll switch gears where I'm like, okay, like I really want to dedicate into a product.
Yeah.
But it's not there yet. I don't think I'm fully done.
Yeah. Well, I think you're 100% right. You shouldn't be. Like I didn't start my business till I was 30, and I got to a point where it was like, it's time. And I feel like you are young and you're still on this trajectory. And I can tell you have an entrepreneur spirit and you want to do things. You understand what scaling is. I think a lot of creatives have no idea. It's like, what do you mean? So I think it's going to be fun to watch as you develop. And this is my favorite thing about this podcast is like, I didn't know you and now I know you. And so as I'm excited to follow you and like see where this, what this turns into. I think also having a platform like you do is super important. Attention is the currency, no matter what happens with the world. If you have attention and you have people that follow you, that enjoy you and want to support you, that's a huge leg up.
Yeah.
So,
I shouldn't give up my YouTube channel.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you still focus on that?
No.
You're just Instagram.
Yes, but I don't even really focus on Instagram. Like,
you don't. It looks like you do because you got a really great following.
I mean, I have a good following, but it kind of grew the same time that my YouTube was growing.
Okay.
And I've kind of just maintained it the last couple of years. Obviously, I think I have like a healthy audience that really likes the stuff that I do. But I think sometimes it's just like so performative. So I just like to take a step back and just be like, okay, like I don't have to be a personality here.
Yeah.
Like this is my first podcast.
Yeah.
Like I don't have to be a personality. I can just like focus on my creative. And then if people dig it, they dig it. If they don't, great.
Yeah.
Would I eventually like to, step into that and be more of a character and have my own like brand, if you will?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. And it'll come.
But in the end, I think I'm like ADHD as hell. And so
we have to be.
We have to be. But
if we're going to do this crazy world,
the reality is like I'm managing enough just to try to bring the productions from A to Z.
Yeah.
And to manage my business in that way. I can't be an influencer, a product developer, a entrepreneur, and run my like creative agency and have it be successful. And I think a lot of people try to do everything. And I'm a serial like person at that. Like I'm horrible at that, I try to have my hands in all these pots, but like the times I have grown, it's been because I've really focused on getting this one video done or this one campaign done or this one project. And I think more people need to just not try to be everything because everything's shiny, but just really hone in and develop their skills in one way. And then you can be great at that one thing.
And Alex Hormozy, that's like, cause he's like, if you want to grow in any aspect of life, monetarily, successful, whatever success means to you, you got to focus. And if you don't focus, you're spread too thin, it goes too slow. And that's been a super big challenge for me is I've got this business. And the only thing I've realized, and it's the hardest thing to realize because it does cost, and it is like, it's like you said, scaling, is putting the right people in the right places to help you. And like I said, I started this podcast and I was like trying to grow my agency. And I'm like, what in the hell have I done? Because we're posting every day. We miss days, obviously, but we've posted every week since. And I was doing that. And I'm like, is this ever going to pay off? Still to this day, I'm like, is this actually going to be worth it? But I enjoy it. And so I'm continuing to do it. But throughout this process, knowing eventually I'd get myself out of it. And it's also helping my business because I'm networking with people. We had Josh Miller on, and I've worked with him yesterday because I knew him from the podcast. So it's like dude, putting your hands in so many different things, but then eventually getting to a point where you have a team that supports you to help you do those things. Because I don't think you should change from what you're doing and what you're enjoying. You should continue to do that. And as you are able to, I think you'd be a really good personality just getting to know you now. Like, you're really interesting. You're very fun to listen to. You're very creative. I don't know if you know that. You seem like you're like, no.
I mean,
but you're entertaining, man.
I think I'm a little scrambled, but hey.
Yeah, no, and you're doing a great
there.
job. I think, because I actually didn't think about that as I've followed you. Yeah, you're showing your videos, and I almost was like, I don't even know what he looks like. You know what I mean? Because like,
Dude.
I'd have to go pretty deep to figure that out. And even then, I was like, who's that?
Yeah. I'm like dude, I've gone that so many times. It's like, I didn't know what you look like, but
Yeah, your stuff's amazing.
you, yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm just a drone. Like,
You're a drone. Yeah.
I'm a drone, just figuratively. No, I think like my profile pic is like me underwater and on a trip to Thailand in 2017.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny. I don't know. Maybe it's part of it. I just don't want to put my face out there, like, and be judged for that. Like,
It's hard.
Like, judged for my flaws, like not physically, but like just
No, for sure.
For this guy's not interesting. This guy's not creative, or whatever it is. But then, I mean, I think eventually the YouTube will come back, and I have some ideas.
Yeah.
Because the productions that we do are a literal TV show.
Yes.
They're
insane.
so funny.
There's
like,
great stories, man.
And the crew that we roll with are like, there's some renegades.
Yeah.
And they're hilarious. So we approach the creative side of things in a very unique, interesting way that I think a lot of people would eat up. So maybe stay tuned for that, but we'll see.
Dude, I'm excited to see it because, like I said, when you were talking about that, like the creative direction of that, that hot air balloon scene, that's fascinating to me to hear the pre-production you had and to be able to nail something like that and be so diverse and do it in 3 weeks. It's diverse in the content that you created. I'm just like you. I actually started out thinking I wanted to be a YouTuber and realized after a long time and a lot of videos on YouTube that I just am not that person. I forced it.
And that's fine.
And it is. And so I've kind of found my voice recently, and I've also got a great team now that's supporting it to where it's like, hey, it is important to put my knowledge out there. The business thing, right? Like being able to help creators miss a lot of failures and like make it faster to get to a point where they do have a business that's sustainable. It's hard to be sustainable and have longevity in our career. So,
But you stopped that.
So I'm switching it to Kajabi. It's on school right now. So Kajabi is a course platform. School's a course platform, but it's also a community that you've got to like nurture. And I did it for 4 months and I didn't have time I feel like I was letting everyone down because I just wasn't able to nurture the community. So I'm putting it into a course on Kajabi that's just a course that I can sell. But I think there's a lot of value in having attention. Not that I want it, but I'm giving back, man. It's like you get to a point and you'll get this. I think you're already there, but as you start to develop your voice and you adapt to what's coming, people want to know what you know and they want to learn from your experiences. Whether you think they do or not, you have a story and it's like people are going to want to learn from you. And I've kind of learned that recently. As I think it's common sense to like know what I know. And I'm like, and then I talk about the dumbest thing and people are like, that's crazy. What? I'm like, you didn't know that? So I'm like, gosh, there is stuff there's value I can give.
Oh, for sure.
So we've just started like literally pretty soon we're going to start putting out videos that just show more of the behind the scenes that are actually personality driven and how we work here. Because we're doing something and it's working. It's hard, but I'm just giving you that little piece of advice, and it sounds like you're heading that direction.
Yeah, for sure. I battle because I'm like, in the moment, I'm like, well, we don't have budget for a BTS guy, and like, frankly, like, sometimes it would be distracting, and like, I really just want to focus on like actually getting the shot, and so sometimes we whip out our phones and like try to film some stuff, but it's like, it's so hard, but yeah, I think it'd be well worth it.
And you'll find the way to do it, because I'm not a big person that's like, I will do it for the story, but it's like, you know, hey, we're doing this and that. It's like in the moment, they're filming me, talking to my DP, talking to a client, and it's just actually happening.
Yeah.
And I'm not like staging much.
Yeah. We did a spec piece for the Earth Roamer.
Okay.
And we had the Earth Roamer team, and it was with the Camp 4 team as well. And we like got the Earth Roamer like stuck in the middle of like this river that we were trying to cross for the shot. And literally it took like him having to winch against like 3 vehicles daisy chained up against each other to get it out. And it was just like,
dang.
It was television.
Yes.
But it was so funny. And they ended up dedicating, you know, time to have a BTS guy on that set. And I was like, the YouTube video's out there, but
yeah,
like that's stuff that happens all the time on our productions, where it's like we hit a wall of like, how are we going to accomplish this? And we pull it off, and the magic is palpable. So
yeah,
it'd be really cool.
And a lot of those times afterwards, like, man, why didn't we have someone to capture that
yeah,
moment?
every single campaign.
But
and we used to be way more gnarly. Like now some of the shoots are super chill. Like there's this film called Prana. And it was a film that I did with this yogi. So like I just went out, me and this yoga instructor guy, to India, and we shot this piece called Prana. And it was like so gnarly, like the production was, but got to shoot like all these incredible visuals of India. And like Indonesia Unseen is like one of my favorite pieces of all time. Shot on the Avata 1. So like the whole piece is shot on Avata 1.
yeah,
And it's literally my favorite piece, just because of how crazy the production was. And we like visited 7-8 islands in Indonesia and got to shoot all this like cultural aspect, showcasing what the drone could do, how an FPV drone could show off like culture.
yeah, that's
And
cool.
It was really cool. So I want to do more of that.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be like definitely some trips coming up once I like figure some things out here, where I'm going to go like around the world and
Way cool.
like do conceptual pieces that are high production value, but in like some crazy destinations, like
So cool.
Nat Geo type shit.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be exciting to see. And I keep thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, we got to wrap this up. But I'm like,
Yeah,
I want to like ask you so many more questions. So we'll just kind of lean into the last question, which is, we've gotten some insight into it, but where do you see your career going in the next 5 to 10 years?
Kind of like what we were talking about on, you know, just doing conceptual pieces with big name clients all around the world.
Yeah.
I think is a goal. I'm very collaborative, so like I want to build a team.
Yeah.
So if you are based in Salt Lake City and want to like chat further, go out for, you know, lunch or coffee, I want to meet everyone here, because obviously I've met and worked with very talented individuals, but I want to grow like a juggernaut unit team to like make these visions come to life and work well together. So that's kind of my goal. 5 to 10 years. 10 years, I'm going to be in a nice house in Hawaii.
Cool.
And probably looking at a world that's completely different.
Yes. 10 years is going to be crazy.
I can't even imagine 10 years from now. But 5 years, I'm still going to be on my grind mode and creating like legendary pieces.
Way cool.
For massive brands. So that's my goal.
Dude, I'm excited to watch it. At the end of every podcast, we have the previous guest ask a question, not knowing who you are. What was your biggest regret from your last project?
I have to think about
It's putting you on the spot, like big time.
Biggest regret.
Especially being more specific to the last project.
Oh, no. I have like a project that
Okay.
I'm like just finishing up, but I'm trying to think of regrets.
And if you don't,
It honestly did. It went really well.
that's great to hear. It's like no regrets, man.
Yeah, no regrets. Like,
That-
why would I have regrets about?
That's,
No.
I think, a great answer if that ends up being it.
Yeah, is it lame to say no regrets?
No,
Okay,
because it just
sweet.
shows that
You want to ask the question and then I'll answer it, or no? I don't know how you guys like doing things.
No, I think we'll just cut up exactly what happened, but we'll cut out a lot of those blank spaces. It's
Okay,
just like you
cool.
thinking and then being like, I don't have regrets because
Yeah,
it means
honestly.
you pre-planned.
Yeah, honestly, I think there's always things that I could change,
Yeah.
but in every production, I try to have zero regrets coming out
Yeah.
away from it,
Yeah.
just because each project is so unique to
Yeah.
itself. So some of the times, like things that I didn't think went well actually made the project way better. So.
Yeah. I think regrets is probably the wrong word, and it's more like, what would you have changed or something? But I wouldn't worry about answering that. Do you have a question that you would ask the next person?
Yeah. Do you ever get nervous showing up to set?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Because I still, just yesterday, I'm like showing up to set and I'm like, I still get butterflies.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Well, this is a filmmaker's journey. This is your guest, Nathan McBride. Thanks for being on, dude.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.